What's up guys, I'm here hitting you up with a new video. Let's dive right into patch 3.1.8 and what I think about this patch. So let's start with Intisar. Intisar has a misread up debuff on her skill 1, that's okay, that's fine. With her second skill, deals damage to all enemies based on attack. The fewer the enemies, the higher the damage. Extends enemy debuffs except for incapacitation. At the start of combat, gains stealth. So it's basically the same as Zora, because Zora also does more damage when there's less enemies. And then we have the third skill, which is the Ascension version. This gains attack up, deals damage to one enemy multiple times based on attack, inflicting defense down. Then deals damage to all enemies based on attack, inflicting attack down. Gains stealth afterwards. If Intisar has stealth, reduces stealth duration to deal extra true damage when attacking. According to the target's type, attacks deal damage equal to a certain percentage of the target's max HP. Trigger times per turn are limited. And then we have the phase. Phase 2 is when without stealth, launches a pursuit attack with transmit virus for her S1. As phase 4 is if a single ability's damage is higher than 35, blah blah blah, does additional true damage. And phase 6 is the attack up target has been changed to all allies. Basically, same as Ashley. In that regard, my personal opinion is Intisar looks really great, but we have to look into the test server on her multipliers and to see actually how much damage she does. Personally, I believe phase 2 is a great, like her Rezo 2 is actually good, but I don't think it's really necessary to have her on Rezo 2. But if you have her Rezo 2, my personal opinion is that she's a must build on Astral Witchcraft, because then you want to use your skill 3, then you want to proc Astral, want to use S1, and then trigger the effect and proc S3 again. That's how you can get the most damage out of her. With Astral Witchcraft on Rezo 2. Great unit overall, but we have to check out her multipliers to see how much she actually does. Then we have Noxy Nuwa, the new 5-star shim I was looking for. So the first skill is deals damage based on her max HP, reduces AP. Each paper talisman stack makes the ability attack one more, then gains one paper talisman. So basically it's a reduce the AP, and then the second skill is selects one ally to reset all the ability cooldowns. Doesn't affect when selecting Nuwa. Grants all allies speed up when Fang has paper talisman. Each paper talisman stack increases AP for all allies. This ability cooldown is not affected. This skill is so crazy good. This skill is crazy good, and I think a lot of people underestimate the power of actually skill resetting one of your units. That is insane. There is so much potential with a skill reset, and I will talk about it in a few. So then we have the Ascension with S3. Basically, it's an AoE strip. It hits 5 times, I believe, or 4 times. Each hit dispels enemy buffs. Each buff successfully dispelled increases Fang AP. The last 2 hits extend enemy ability cooldown. So she is an insane unit. So you start with her S3, strip the enemies, skill reset, so the defense cannot use their S3 because of her. So you definitely want to have her with 100% accuracy. And if she strips, she also gains AP up. You follow up in a PvP setting, in an offense. You follow up with your DPS, do your DPS damage, and after your DPS dealt their damage, you use her S2 to reset the S3 of one of your DPS unit to immediately deal AoE damage again. That is insane. That's insanely powerful, and I hope I can pull her soon. With her resonance, I feel like it's whatever. Phase 2 is okay. She steals buffs now, so she can apply immunity on herself, which is okay. Phase 4 is actually interesting to me because when attacking, 20% chance of ignoring resist, which is also, I think, a lot of people underestimate the power of Rezo 4 because it increases her chance of stripping and increasing the skill cooldown on enemy targets. That's actually very powerful. And Rezo 6 is the paper talisman will no longer be consumed. That's whatever, it's fine. It's also very good. But Rezo 4 is actually very, very strong for her. Then we have some changes here. Then with the event, same as usual, no mystery trader. And yeah, it's with the pulling, it's basically the same thing. And also, what I wanted to talk about is the point war optimization, what they did. So they added a leaderboard, as I suggested in my video. If you watched my video when I talked about changes that needs to be made in PvP. So they added a leaderboard for the top 400 players. They added a first tier advancement. Basically, with when the update drops, you can just collect everything if your point was 16 and above 17, 18. Then also, they did the daily first win reward. They changed it to a weekly reward. So you have to do more point war to get more rewards. Then they added a tier protection based on players' best tier records. A guaranteed lowest tier will be set, which will prevent their tier from dropping further down. So I'm curious because if I'm at point war 18, does that mean I will never drop below point war 18? Or is it just a protection? I cannot drop below point war 16. That's what I'm curious about. Not too bad, but we will see what's the point there. Then adjusted points calculation rules for tier 16 plus. When challenging an opponent with more points than the player, the larger the gap, the more points the player will receive upon a win, and the fewer points the player will lose upon a defeat. Same for defense. That is a very good change, and that's what I discussed also in my video, that when people have way too many points and they have a way, if their point gap is too big, so that when you actually target those people, that they actually lose a lot of points and don't gain too many points, so you can actually farm them down to be more competitive. Then the next thing, adjusted seasonal point deduction rules for tier 16 plus. If points are in a great excess, the surplus points will be additionally deducted to balance the point difference. However, this won't affect rankings after calculation. Optimized matchmaking for point war, optimized the refresh system, optimized cutscene speed for point war. I hope that's also good. What I was talking about in my video, they actually did a lot of things I mentioned in my videos. And first of all, I say the adjustment so that they deduct the points is great thing, but I have to look into how many points they deduct. If they equalize everyone, or if their point deduction is basically useless because people have way too many points and what they deduct was not good enough, but we will see. Sonic Miracle changes for whatever, they included 9 and 10 to increase the chance of getting the legendary soundwave thingies, the high ones, right? And they made soundwave more difficult for no reason at all. No one understands that. Then Ritual Miracle adjustments increased the chance of getting high level relics from every floor in Ritual Miracle. So since you farm, for people who farm 16, it doesn't really matter at all. And they did not do the changes people actually wanted to. We have to see if they will address it in a further update notice or so. Then some courses change, no one really cares. Esper trial changes, no one cares. Gold shop adjustments, fragments and so on, nothing too big. Some adjustments here and there, but overall, nothing really noticeable. So my main point in this video was just talking about the two new Espers and the point what changes. So thanks guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.